Okay, I'm going to take this time just for a few minutes. First off, we do and are trying to adhere to the social distancing and the mask rules, but as you can see, it's difficult for us to communicate with mask on, and secondly, my glasses fog up with a mask. So I couldn't see without it. So hope y'all understand that that's why we don't have masks on, but we will have them on when we leave and when we're around everyone outside, within 6 feet, as suggested by Governor and CDC. So it is an election season, and that's what it's all about. So you have a choice. I do think it's important because in this election season, there's a multitude of issues being bandied about throughout the community. And unfortunately, there are some miscommunications, confusion about some of these being bandied about. And I need to correct that and lay this out so you have the facts. Because when you vote, you absolutely need to know what the facts are. And then you make the choice, and we all live by it. Understand that. But I want to start with things we're working on, coming to fruition, and issues in town that we have recognized and working toward the resolution of. One of them is we know with the 5-laning of Canal Road, the pinch point will be the toll bridge. We have been in discussions for about 9 months with the toll bridge company, which is a new company. The previous company was a bond or an insurance company who got the bridge through, I guess, default bankruptcy. Had no interest in it, had no interest in talking to us about it. The new company is out of Europe. It is a bridge, toll bridge and toll road company, and they have every intention of trying to make it work, and they know that they need to work with us in the state to do that. So we have been negotiating, number one, to expand the toll fly-throughs from the current 5 till 11. 2 dedicated, 1 each way, Freedom Pass lanes for local folks. Hopefully that'll happen within 18 months. That's the timeline on the agreement. 3 years, we'll have another bridge span, so we have 2 lanes north, 2 lanes south. The toll will now be controlled and based on a CPI or a percentage increase, none for the first 5 years, but after that, it will be controlled. There will be very special pricing for Orange Beach residents. And the fly-throughs will hopefully be, they've committed to electronic fly-through technology to speed us moving through and in and out. So hopefully that will eliminate any pinch point at the toll bridge, and we'll be able to flow traffic in a very efficient fashion. The City of Orange Beach and the bridge company has agreed in terms and concept, but it will be up to the state of Alabama and ALDOT to allow us to consummate the deal. Included in that deal is a short-term cash value and a long-term revenue stream for the City of Orange Beach. I've been assured by ALDOT that if for whatever reason we do not build or we are not allowed to consummate that deal, they will build the bridge to the west. It will be a free bridge, which we will support them on, and the City of Gulf Shore supports it as well. So one way or the other, we are looking to get relief with our traffic on Canal Road and the expressway. The next thing I want to talk about is our issues with golf carts, depending on which side of the street you're on. Ms. D'Aversa brought this to our attention last week, and for whatever reason, it didn't seem to settle with some people. So here I want to go back through the process again. We know that the state of Alabama has a certain set of rules for golf carts, and we need to adhere to those. We had planned on a program in the spring to bring everyone into compliance, inspect, register, but because of COVID, that didn't happen. We have moved to the fall to try to do the same thing, inspect them, make sure they're all street worthy, street viable, with a number and registration so they can be identified. It is imperative that we understand that children under 16, I hate to use the word children, but under 16 is not supposed to be on a golf cart without an adult, and the adult should be driving. We are going to have to try our best, and we have tried our best to enforce that, but we need mom and dad to help us with that. because it is getting to some degree out of control. We are trying to find middle ground between golf carts, pedestrians, bicycles, the whole 9 yards, without being draconian, as some would have us be, in how we deal with it. We want everybody to coexist and to work in a fashion because we all want to move about in the fashion we want to move out, whether it be on feet, on a scooter, on a bicycle, or on a golf cart. So, we have been working on engineering of golf cart multimodal paths on Canal Road. We have hopefully connected most everything in town to some degree. When these golf carts are approved and registered, they are street worthy on any street with a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit or less. So the only streets that will be affected there where they can't be on the street will be Canal Road, Beach Road, 161, and unfortunately Marina Road. There's no right-of-way on Marina Road to increase the width of that sidewalk, and the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit prevents them from being on Marina Road. So if we'll go to the first slide, I'm going to show you what we have, in working with our engineering department, what we've come up with on multimodal pathways. That is not it.
This is from Baylor Launch to 161, the overall Canal Road.
Okay, that is it. So what we're doing is we are going to 3-lane Canal Road from Docks all the way to Wilson Avenue. Half of that money was procured through the Restore Act, which I sit on that council. There's 10 of us that work through about $300 million, mayors and commissioners from all over Baldwin and Mobile counties. We're going to match that $2 million with our $2 million. Next. As you can see, it'll be all the way to Baylor Launch, and you paved in 3-lane to Wilson. Okay, this is a snapshot of what we've got from Docks to just past the Art Center. We will have a 10-foot wide multimodal path from Baylor Launch and Bear Point down the north side of the roadway. To a roundabout in front of the Art Center, Senior Center, and Library. Reason for the roundabout is twofold. It's difficult for folks to get out of those entities on the north side and make a left turn. This will allow all three campuses to merge into the traffic circle, and it also requires that anyone going to Docks has to come to the traffic circle and make the U-turn instead of trying to make the U-turn at Kangaroo and backing everybody up into the intersection. The multimodal path will come to the east side of that traffic circle, cross there, come along the south side to a new pathway we're going to bring down by the substation on property we just purchased, down along the police station, and it will go out to 161. So now we have connectivity from 160 up and down north, south 161 all the way to Bear Point. If you cross at Marina Road at the crossing, you can then come back up and to Oak Ridge, go down Oak Ridge all the way to the ballpark. And from there, if you want to cross and go back north into the Wharf, we're going to have that taken care of as well. All right, let's go to the next slide. Are we going west now?
Yes, Canal Road West.
Okay, this is Canal Road West. There's no way to create any type of pathway essentially between Docks and Commerce Drive. No right-of-way, difficulty with the topographical layout, elevations, but Commercial Drive with all golf carts being street legal will now be able to move from east and west on Commercial Drive all the way down to past Captain's Cove. We're going to extend Commercial Drive all the way to Doc Brown's veterinary clinic. We're also going to have parallel to that a 5-foot, am I correct, 5-foot sidewalk? 5 feet wide, 5 foot wide, sidewalk that's going to run parallel from Captain's Cove to the street crossing at the red light so that kids, children on bikes, whoever, are separated from Commercial Drive and golf carts. However, they will merge right there in front of Doc Brown so that they can cross to the south to the school or to the ballparks at the red light. To the west, Parkway, east Wharf Parkway, we will have the same 10-foot path moving east all the way to the red light. So hopefully we're going to incorporate everything there on that north side of the road, high concentration of residents, high concentration of kids that are going to be able to move east and west with safety to a red light and be able to cross safely.
Are you ready, Chris?
What's that?
Next one, you want the next one?
Yes,
Mayor?
ma'am.
This is a close-up from the veterinary clinic for Commercial Avenue to Wharf Parkway East.
So hopefully we can move folks fairly easy along Canal Road.
So this is the veterinary clinic, this is the end of Commercial Avenue, and this is where that 5-foot driveway goes into the 10-foot multimodal path, and then goes all the way, and then this is the decel lane, I didn't know if you want to
Yep.
mention that.
We're adding a decel lane to the entrance of Cypress Village because any of you that's been headed west, somebody stops, you're not paying very close attention to make a right turn, or it just backs traffic up in that slow lane. So we're going to have a decel lane so we can keep that westbound traffic moving smoothly. We're going to look into an elevated crossover at the school. We have difficulty with right-of-way being able to do handicap accessible, but we're going to look at, and no promises, but we're going to look into the possibility of an elevated crossover with stairs and then elevators for ADA compliance. It does in itself create its own set of circumstances and issues, but it is something I think we need to look into. Okay? I'm just checking my notes, see if I missed anything.
When we do stairs, can we also look, I know we've discussed this, but Gulf Breeze has a circle, cylindrical, because they get a bike across. Can we see what the cost difference is and the space difference is from stairs for that?
The diameter of that is fairly significant.
Okay.
And I can't remember, it is at least 30-plus feet, I think, in diameter, which we may not have the ability to, right-of-way wise, to do that. We are looking at, this is a, I'm sorry, I stepped on you, kid, I
I just
apologize.
want to mention, this is the commons.
This is the Commons where Cactus Cantina is. A lot of traffic issues there, turning right into Cactus Cantina, creating, it's going to be potentially wrecks. Y'all probably have already seen this. Somebody stops there trying to make a right turn in. People are merging from the fast lane into the slow lane to try to get to the south. It just creates havoc. So we're going to put a decel lane in, running from hopefully just to the west or close to Pet Boys, all the way down to Cactus Cantina to move traffic into that right turn lane so that we don't have an issue with rear ends and backing traffic up in a significant fashion on busy days. We're going to partner with the Commons owners and widen the entrance into Cactus Cantina into a 3-lane wide entryway so that we don't have people backed up stopping to make a right turn because somebody's sitting in the middle of the trying to make a left turn out. So we're going to separate it out. And hopefully that's going to free up traffic moving to the east and south at that point there. Okay, next. This is Louder Lane. We've asked for a light at Louder Lane. The state has denied it. They did a count and said it wasn't worthy, but we're going to continue to knock on their door. But until then, because queuing up was so difficult, if you were trying to make a left turn out of Louder Lane and you were there to take a right turn, you sat in line because of the difficulty for those folks trying to get out to the left lane. Hopefully, with 2 lanes free-flowing east, we get a much higher volume of traffic and a greater break between cars so the left turn out is easier to be had. A lot of this stuff we generally cover in town hall meetings, but because of COVID, we have not been able to have one in some time now. And I think it's important that we lay all this out for everyone.
That's
Okay.
That's it for the slides, but
Okay.
I do want to mention that I've received a lot of calls from people in East Orange Beach subdivision voicing their appreciation for the placement of the above-ground power underground. That's happening
Yeah.
currently.
Yes.
So we're doing everything we can. Your $5 a month goes toward moving everything underground we possibly can. A lot of that depends on the age of the infrastructure, the power company infrastructure. There's an economy for us to be had as that infrastructure ages and they're going to have to replace it. Then we do a joint partnership on that, which saves us money as opposed to going to an infrastructure that has a significant lifespan left and putting it under, then we bear the cost. So that's why we pick the neighborhoods that we do. The other thing is there was a significant number of trees, limbs in that area, so it was at high risk for power outages just because it's such the greatest number of trees probably as we have anywhere in town.
And Mayor,
Let's say per capita. How's that?
let me just add this. Island Fiber is getting ready to finish up Bear Point, north and south. And so they've gotten with the EMC, with the contractor that's putting the underground in, and they're going ahead and putting the underground conduit for Island Fiber as they're putting it in for the electric. So that's going to really cut down on being able to serve East Orange Beach with fiber a lot quicker once they get there. So it was a good use of resources that were already in place.
Well, we've structured the deal with Island Fiber to make it more front-loaded for them so that they could deal with the capital cost of getting it in the ground. And we think we're accelerating it. We have created tranches to evaluate the viability of the fiber and from the business perspective as we are partners to make sure no taxpayer dollars are spent that aren't giving us a fair return. But it's imperative, I think, that we get fiber to every residence that we possibly can off the beach road. So that's our goal. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. So thank you, Jerry, for leading that and helping with that. Kit, was there I got a few more things, but was there anything else? The left turn into the new school at the intersection between Cypress Village and the school is a very dangerous situation. There's essentially 4 left turns going at one time. So we're going to move the left turn into the school down to Sweetwater. And with the decel lane, hopefully that's going to improve that intersection, because that is one of the reasons the medians are on the beach road is because of head-on collisions, because of that center left turn lane and T-bones. So we're working with the county. They've been real understanding and realize that is a dangerous situation, along with ALDOT, to get that fixed. Then one last thing. Philip West, about 4 years ago, brought to us a plan for a beachfront community for residents. For 4 years, we have been searching for beachfront property, trying to find a deal that made sense. It is very difficult in today's prices to find something that works. For the last 2 years, off and on, we have been working with a private group to acquire a piece of property that we think will serve our needs. It currently has a building on it that will serve a dual purpose for us, which will tremendously reduce the overall investment for beachfront use for our residents, and at the same time accomplish 2 other things that we need. We have a deal, but we have not signed a contract, and I expect to sign the contract this week, and then we will bring it to council and reveal. But it is hopefully going to happen. But it bothers me. I want people to understand this has been going on for 2 years in the negotiation with this particular entity. It is not something that happened yesterday. So I think that's all that I got. There's so much more that's going on, and I want the facts out there, and I want nothing but the facts, ma'am. So.
Mayor, I had a question this week. A resident asked me if we were planning to separate from the South Baldwin school system, and I want everyone to be assured that the answer is no. We love the current board. We have a local board member. We have a superintendent that is very, very easy to work with. They are allowing us to help as we wish, and we are helping them as they need. So trust me, there is absolutely no plan to separate from the Baldwin County school system.
And I want to reiterate that. We have a local gentleman, Robert Stewart, as our school board representative, which we've never had that type of representation before. Myself, Jerry went to the school board at Baldwin County School Board and assured them of our allegiance. And it does bother me that anybody would try to sow discord amongst the brethren with such a rumor, because we are working very well with them, and we do not need for a minute to think that we're going to bolt on them just because we can. That is not the case. And this being Facebook Live, a lot of this is a substitute for a town hall meeting, and I made the decision, along with everyone's support, this was a good time to get the good news out there. So, does anybody have anything they'd like to add to any of this?
My only deal is, Jonathan, y'all did an incredible job testing everyone the other day. You working with Southern Rapid Care, and how many people y'all did in such a short period of time was awesome. Well, I wanted to thank y'all for your support and your leadership and guidance on that. As you know, Friday evening, we found out that 4 of our staff members were positive, and immediately, in partnership and guidance from Mayor Kennon, the council, Mr. Bronx, Vicki Fishna, our HR director, and Southern Rapid Care, we made the decision to shut down the camp program temporarily, 330 children in the camp program, and shut down the recreation center temporarily. And the next morning, between 7 a.m. and 7:45, Southern Rapid Care and Sheila Stevens ran through 84 staff members and had them all tested. And my wife and I just got our results about 30, 40 minutes before, so we're out of quarantine. So, thank you. Sorry.
Thank you.
But we've got about half of our staff tested results in now. We still have we're up to about 5 positives at this point, but I understand there are a few more coming in. But I just want to thank you all for your support and guidance. And as I've told everyone, it's very clear that the utmost concern is for the safety of our children, our families, our community, and our employees. And I'm sorry, y'all, but that is just the perfect example of care, compassion, and leadership. And I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Anyone else? Okay, if y'all will, I just got the final list of our election 2020, so I'd like to go through it if that's good with y'all. Mr. Jeff Boyd, Mr. Silvers, and Mr. Jerry Johnson are unopposed, so congratulations, guys. Everybody recognize the job y'all done.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
And I'm going to recognize the candidates if we can. Is Mr. Cardwell here? Joe Cardwell?
And just a reminder, I still need to wait for his confirmation on his ethics statement.
Gotcha.
So he's the only one that I have unconfirmed as he just.
So Mr. Joe Cardwell will be challenging Miss Annette Mitchell. Is Mr. Fierro here? Where? You stand for us? Would you like to stand? Just so everybody knows. Mr. Joe Fierro, he will be challenging Joni Blaylock. Joe Fierro will be challenging Joni Blaylock. And Dan Hayes, is he here? Mr. Dan Hayes will be challenging yours truly. So, thank you. I welcome the challenge. So, might as well, we started. Anybody got anything they'd like to add, say, since we're on a roll here? Questions? Comments? All right, let's do business then.